Hello, my friends. It's me, Karen Valentine, and we are back. So I had some camera issues with the last video. I'm not quite sure why that's been happening. It's been happening a little bit more lately, and I've been using the same camera, which is my iPhone. But it kept the white balance kept changing, going from really cool to really warm, flip-flopping, and sometimes the focus would bounce. So I am trying a new app that I just purchased that allows me to lock the white balance and lock the focus. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that we have no issues with this video. It may take me a little while to kind of get used to it, so bear with me on that. I just got it this morning, so that is that. All right, so we are going to start on the fur on this guy. And if you have not seen part 1 and part 2, the Red Panda photo is from Pixabay, and it is down in the description box, the link to that. You can download that for free. The problem that I have been having on this one is that the painting is so large. It's the largest one that I've done, that I really can't print the reference photo the size that I need it to be, and I have been having a hard time trying to print sections of it in exactly the right size as well. So I am working from my iPad on this one, and when I can, I will pull that picture in front to show you. And unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to put the little square reference photo in the upper corner. That's probably some software or a program that I don't use. So I apologize for that. You guys, if you download that image and you put it on a separate device to what you're watching me on, you should be able to look at that and look at what I'm doing, and hopefully that will work for you. So yeah, so that being said, I have pulled out a few Panpastels, and I just realized I haven't pulled out everything that I need because I do want a white. So give me a second to pull that out. We're going to use the Panpastels as a base for this, and then we will work on top with the pastel pencils. So debating on if I want to just use, it might be best if I do go ahead and use the sponge tools. So I will do that. Getting myself all together here because I didn't do that before I turned the camera on. Just getting a microfiber cloth to kind of put in my lap for any kind of wiping I might need to do. I have a piece of glassine paper in case I need that, and I think we are good to go. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and hopefully this is all going to continue to stay in focus. I'm crossing my fingers here. Okay, so let us just put some base colors in here. So let me see here. I'm trying to cords. Everything needs to be plugged in so I don't run out of battery. And it's, so that's the image that we're working with. Isn't it lovely how everything doesn't change color when I put it on here like it used to? I'm so happy. If this program works well and makes good videos, it was going to be well worth the mere $15 that I spent on it. Okay, so this is the size that we're working in. And so as I look at this, I'm going to come in and I'm going to put some of the darkest colors that I see in here, like the color that is way down deep in the fur, which would be your darkest values, and probably the same color that I use. I probably need to go a tiny bit darker on the cheeks than I do up here. So, and then I think we'll probably get some of the white in, or maybe we'll use a gray, a light gray. I better get those out too, because I'll probably use those. Okay, and then last, I'm just wondering if I should pull some finer sponges. Maybe this one will work. I can probably clean that off a little bit. These sponges, you can wash these. Some soap and water in the sink and then let them dry. So I just collect all my dirty sponges and then wash them. They don't, they stay looking dirty, but the pastels do come out of them, so that's kind of nice. All right, I think I'm going to start. So I have I have burnt sienna extra dark, burnt sienna shade, and burnt sienna for my 3 pan pastels. I don't even think I showed you those I think I was out of, so those colors, and then one darker one, and then I pulled out the red iron oxide extra dark because I like the redness of it. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I think I will start with burnt sienna shade and see what I think about that. Is that dark enough? It may not be. We might. So this is burnt sienna extra dark. This, I feel, though, is going to be too dark. Let's try this red iron oxide extra dark. That's not as red as let's just try that again. Yeah, I had a lot of color still left, so this is going to be an okay color for here, but I think I want my skinny one. I think I want this the little triangle one. Okay, so I'm going to put some of this in here. And really, I'm pretty sure that I'm probably okay. I might be better off to go a little bit darker in here like I have, and then maybe go switch to a little bit lighter, I think. Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, let's just do it. I might mix, do a little bit of all of them kind of as I go. That's kind of the fun thing about the pan pastels as well, is that you can kind of mix your colors right in the pans, or right on your paper, or on an extra sheet of paper if you want to. Okay, so I have a line here. That's probably the line for the lightest part, and then it gets dark in there. So I'm going to go straight. I'm going to go ahead and put that dark in there. And then this gets way redder, but we'll worry about that, I think, later. This is darker in here. And I always call this the ugly phase because it's a lot of expansive, nothing yet, no detail, and it looks funny. I do think that I want to make sure that I have enough of this color down though, because it does it works nicely to help fill in the tooth so that when I go to put the fur on top, it has a nice kind of smooth finish to it. I really love being able to hold the tool like a brush, as opposed to some makeup tools where you're going to be holding it, like this. I don't feel like I would have as much control with those. So these really work well for me. Okay, we're gonna brush this all in here in a minute. Not brush, smush with my fingers. I'm gonna smush it all in so that it's all even. Okay, this actually is quite, I'm gonna put a little bit of more orange in there. Okay, let's see, this is the white. We could probably do this just with our pencils, but I'll go ahead and I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. Why did I stop there? There's a line that I drew there, and I don't know what that is. This is the edge of the white, so I'm just going to go ahead and, I hope that's right. I'm going to go ahead and put that in here too. I think we'll work the top of the head, and my sponge is starting to be on its last leg here on that side, so I'm going to try and flip it over. Okay. Do a little bit more down here. This is going to be quite dark. I don't want to start coming down in here too much though, so I think I'll just stop there. I kind of want to concentrate on the top of the head to start with. So are we ready for some white? Not quite. Let's get some dark. Let's get some dark in here. without having the really dark colors underneath, it's harder for your light colors to show up. So it's pretty important to get it dark enough to start. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, let's put some, boy, this is really tearing up this triangle. I hadn't even hardly used this one at all. Okay, so let's try some, what is this? Raw Umber Tint. That's this one. I'm hoping that it'll be dark enough, especially if I have color still on here. It's funny because this is, I do want this to be white, but again, there has to be something under there for the white to show up on top of. So I think this is good. And a little bit later here. All right, I think we'll start there. So let me rub all this in, because when that gets pushed down into the tooth of the paper, it's easier to put layers on top of it, and it doesn't go anywhere very easily. So my lighter colors hopefully will not bleed into those colors. All right. Cooper says hi. And I'm just going to put these away. Get them out of the way. And this out of the way. And I stopped at Walmart today when I was running around, and I got myself a thing of wipes so I don't have to keep jumping up and washing my hands while I'm filming, so that'll be good. All righty then. Hopefully everything still looks good. I'm a little paranoid about, you know, the video, making sure that everything's still working properly. Okay. And I'm a little paranoid about stopping it. And starting it up again. I don't know why, probably not necessary. So that's why you're listening to me do all this stuff, just so that I can be, because I feel like, what if I start it and then I can't? I know, it's silly. Okay, I think I am a ready, almost, except for that I have a dull pencil, which you're just going to have to sit there and listen to me sharpen. These sharpen pretty easy, these pits, because they're so nice and hard. I don't have to usually worry about them breaking. I can go a little bit faster. Okay, so this pit is the terracotta, which is number 186. Sorry, so see, I'm just I'm just doing that over the garbage can just to sharpen it up. And we're also using CARBOTHELLO. Oh, don't drop your pencils. CARBOTHELLO. That's the only problem with the CARBOTHELLO pencils, is that those numbers rub off so easily. 6. Geez Louise, maybe I wrote it down here. Hang on. This is number 29 in my book. 630 Dark Flesh Tint CARBOTHELLO. Okay. So we'll start there and see how that goes. Let's do that. Okay. I'm always nervous when I'm doing stuff on camera. It's just so silly. All right. I'm going to start at the nose, and this is nowhere near as light as we're going to be, but I want to have some darker marks. Maybe this one instead. They're both pretty close in color. I just want to bear with me while I kind of get the feel for what I'm going to do here. I think this is going to be covered with some white. I'll get that in there. I hope my fan noise isn't too bothersome. Okay, and then when I blend it out, I don't want to blend it out too much, but I still want some of those lines to show. Let's start there. I didn't pull out all the colors that I wanted. What was the other color I wanted? Saffron. Okay, so that is a Derwent color. And of course, I didn't sharpen it. I really need to just not be a chicken and just shut off the camera and then turn it back on again. Because I'm sure you don't want to be around while, oh, okay, so the good, the bad, and the ugly of pastel pencils. That was either my fault or it was broken inside before I started sharpening. It's hard to say which is the correct answer there. And because really, you know, before you get your pencils, you don't know what's happened to them before you get them. And I guess that's the case with any pencil, you know, especially open stock, because they're not put into the, you know, their protective tins right there in the factory. There's a lot of handling of those. For all I know, the person in the art supply store, you know, dropped it before I even bought it. So it's kind of a bummer. Sometimes I do save those pieces if they're nice and long. Oh, man. All right. I just broke it again. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn the camera off and just hope that when I hit start again, it'll just start recording like it's supposed to. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so the second time I went through it, I didn't have any problems. So it was probably completely user error on my part. All right, so I want to see. So again, this is the Saffron P050 in Derwent. And I'm hoping that this is, sometimes it's hard to tell before you really kind of make a dent in the hair whether you're going to like it or not. I think that this is what I want to do. And again, I'm still kind of turning the pencil in my hand as I go. It just helps to, this just might not be light enough. I might be winding up using an even lighter color on top. Oh. But I think you can see what I mean, what I meant in the last video where it was like, oh my gosh, seriously, this hair is going to take forever. Something about what I'm doing is not right though. I want to make sure, see, when I push it in there, it really, I'm kind of experimenting. I mean, I'm learning as I do this. So this is, if you came here for expert tutorials, I think you're in the wrong place. Go see Jason Morgan. Go see Zara Tom. Zara's Pet Portraits and Wildlife, I think, is her YouTube. Those are two that I really, really enjoy. Okay, I think the reason that I wasn't happy before, just a few minutes ago, was because my pencil strokes were too straight. They were too much like this and not enough like this, if you understand what I mean. I think they really need to be going, even though they're all going up and out, they still need to really be crisscrossy. So it's hard for me to tell if this is light enough yet. So I think what I'm going to wind up doing, maybe I'll get this white. I'm not sure. I think what I'll wind up doing, she said, as she was still trying to decide, I'm debating on doing all of it and then coming in with some white, but you know what, I want to just try and see what happens if I throw some white on top in just a few areas, maybe, you know, like not all over the whole thing. Okay, so this is my CARBOTHELLO white. And I think that's what I'm going to wind up doing. So I will probably speed through while I add my Derwent. And I think I'm just going to kind of go all over the whole thing with it. And then I'll probably come in and add some more fur with this white. The thing I want to make sure that I'm able to do is get the density that the picture has, and I think that's going to require a lot of layers. Doing it, blending it in a little bit, doing it again, because with each time I do that, you see a little bit more the, you know, you just get layer, 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 layer until you get to the very top layer. And I think that that's going to get me the best look. And then I'm debating on, looking to see if I have a dark. I don't think I do. So what I can, let's see. I need a color like Caput Mortem, I think. Which I have out already somewhere. It's in here already. Where are you? Ah. Oh my gosh, I bet that was really loud. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I think that even after we do that, if I have areas that still need to be darker, I can come in and give them a little bit more depth. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be like sienna brown or something like that. Just getting that down as a base. Okay. Is that it? Is that what we're going? Is that the plan? I think that's the plan. I still think I do need to come in. I think I'm going to come in with some dark color, dark like burnt sienna maybe. Let's see, 82. You know, there's some areas that I want even darker. I'm kind of debating on whether I even need to bother with the dark flesh. So this is the, this is the process. I couldn't really do this. Oh, that's no good. I couldn't really do this ahead of time because then I wouldn't be doing it from the beginning. Okay, this is Caput Mortem Violet. I actually kind of like it. It's darker, but I don't think you'll even be able to tell how, you know, the purpleiness of it once all the other colors are on top of it. And I like it because we are going to have those purple tones in here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this in, okay, in places, just so that we have some darker bits peeking. Maybe we start there. Okay. I still think that I'm going to do a layer of this one. So this is Dark Flesh Tint, and I'm going to go ahead and speed through this because I don't think that you need to see it all. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to switch to the saffron now, by Derwent. I'm debating on how much I want to blend this in. I think I want to leave this as is, maybe just tap it in. I don't want to blend this all out, because I will be doing the blending in between these layers. So again, I will speed up the camera because this is all that I'm doing for this whole thing. And then when I get the first coat on, I'll come back and say hi, and then we'll keep going. Okay, so I'm thinking that I need to get some more fur strokes on top of this dark bit because I don't want to cover it up completely. This row of fur should kind of stop where the dark is. And so I need to get some more of these. This is the terracotta pit which is really similar to the GIOCANDA, not GIOCANDA, to the CARBOTHELLO Dark Flesh. They're really similar. This is just a harder pencil, so it's going to give me thinner lines a little easier. Let's see, and then this is the beige red that we used before. I'm just going to throw a few of those in here too. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. But I want the fur to end at this ledge because I want that dark line to really show. Fill this all in here. Don't forget to crisscross over hairs occasionally. You don't want all of your hairs lining up parallel to each other like little soldiers in a line. They need to be crisscrossed. Okay, and then I'm going to try and keep those hairs that are down here closest to that dark line. Try and keep those a little bit darker too. Those we might have to blend. I think I want a few coming up a little bit higher. It was looking a little bit too perfect. That's a little better. Back to this terracotta. I don't know, there was something about this that almost looked like it's still too dark. It's not bad. But I think it's just too, it's still too, so my plan was to stop this white line, but I'm kind of thinking that I like it better the way it is now, like this. I'm also thinking that some of my lines are not in proportion here as I'm looking at it, so I'm just going to do a little bit of double checking here. Let's see, I think I can zoom out. No, I just can't quite get there. Let's try this. Okay, so this I can tell is just not, well, that's not bad. This is the one that's too tall. That's what it is. I came up too high with my, yeah, I came up too high with my terracotta up there. So I can either add some more white on top of it, leave it alone, but I think I'm going to try just pulling some of it off first with my putty eraser. And then I will come in with the white. We kind of want it to be fluffy and blended anyway, so I still think that this will work fine. I just came up a little bit too high, and while that's not a disaster, I could have left it. I like it better the way it is now. So, yep, all right, good. Okay, so back to, what was I doing? Yes, back to the saffron. And I will go back to the zoom and go back to the double time. Okay, we're gonna try and keep going. Had a little, a little problem with the camera, but I think we're back in business. I'm worried about the sound a little bit because the sound did some weird things on me while I was stopping and starting the camera. So we'll see what happens. I'm crossing my fingers. Worst case scenario, I do the whole thing with voiceover. I don't know. It's always scary when you are trying a new thing. And then I think the temperature, the white balance settings changed. So I'm not even positive that this looks exactly the same as it looked before, which is a little frustrating, but we will, we'll just keep going and hope that it comes out okay. I have it set to be recording through the stereo of the iPhone, so hopefully that is what is happening. Oh, it's always hard when you're technology is hard. Sometimes I like it and sometimes I do not. So just see what happens. Cross my fingers. All right, I'm just going to stay in real time for a little bit. Because we're almost ready to go to something different. And I think that that's going to be softening and then adding some more of this, but I'm not positive. So this, okay. I kind of want to get the white eyebrows in because that'll help me a little bit too with knowing where some of this should go. I don't want to go too long, but it looks like the hairs in here and in here are shorter than these hairs by a little bit. So. This here looks like it actually should be a darker color. So before I add any more of this, I'm going to take this Caput Mortem Violet, which is the CARBOTHELLO, and I'm going to add a little bit in here. That's probably enough. Something here is throwing me off a little bit. I need to get, this is going to be that really dark red. This, yeah, I need to get some more of this in here. Nope, not that one. Dark flesh tint is fine, either that or the pit. That needs to be a little bit more. And actually, some of this pit Caput Mortem, I think. I'm hoping my, yeah, I need to just stop stressing. I'm worried about how loud my fan is. too for you guys, but you can probably see how much harder this pencil is. It just does not make very heavy strokes. In fact, I'm really kind of amazed that it's not, it feels like it's not. There we go. Yeah, I hit a hard bit there or something. They're definitely a harder pencil than the CARBOTHELLOs. Okay, let's just do a little bit more here with the saffron. We're gonna have to start working these, blending all these bits and pieces together eventually. You know, this part has to work its way into what we've got going on so far, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, I'm not sure if this is a dark enough color. I feel like I want to do something there, but I'm probably not ready for that yet. This is English Red. I actually think that this needs to be much redder, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that. Yeah, when you start getting to like your starting point and your stopping point, it can be a little. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. All right, now I think that I want to just tap this in a little bit. And then come back in again with some more. Maybe push a little bit harder this time. And try and make some of these pieces look like they're sitting even more on top of what we've got going on already. Crossing the hairs that you have down already helps to make those layers look really good. Make it look like there's hair under hair under hair. Pretty happy with how it's looking so far, though, I gotta say. Okay, and I want to do some hair clumps. I'm going to hope that everything stays the way I want it to. Let's do it this way. There we go. I want to go with zoom. Zoom. Okay, sorry about the shaky camera. All right, so I want a few clumps. So rather than doing single strokes, I'm going to do a few strokes that are like a cone, like a V, like a filled-in V. So that it looks like the hairs are clumped together, so that it's not all completely single strands of hair. And I think pretty soon I'm going to be ready to break out the lighter color too, the white. Yeah, so I like the addition of the clumps. I think that was good. So I'm going to zoom back out so that since you've seen what the clumping looks like. I think this is really close to being the way I want it to look. Yeah. Like you want the light hair and the darker hair to still kind of blend together. Okay, let's just try a little bit of this white. I'm not sure if I need it or not. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to, let's do the eyebrows here. Trying to keep my eye on the reference photo as well as what I'm doing. I feel like I might be making it too big, so I just want to do a little double check on size, height, and width. Let's put a little bit more of this in here. Okay, and then a little bit of the saffron again. Back to the white. And then there's a few that come out. Yeah, this is looking odd. I don't know what the problem is with my so from the top of the eye to the kind of the top of the white. All right, so I went a teeny bit too high. And then, okay, that's why. Okay. so this comes up a little bit higher. I think we're going to have to come in and definitely work that eye some more around the eye. That's a little bit better. Okay, let's do this side. How do I do this so that I stay? I want to make sure I stay in camera, but get my angle. Sometimes going up is not as easy. Again, light, especially with these soft pastel pencils. A light stroke will give you a thinner line, and believe it or not, it works a lot better. Even when you want things to be white, it seems like it works better to just go light. We can always add a heavier white with that new pastel if we need it to be brighter white, which I think we're going to need it to be a little bit brighter white. Okay, I'm going to come up a little bit higher on the here, even though I think probably right where I need to be. I want them to be a teeny little bit more symmetrical. It's not bad. Okay. I probably don't need to be doing this now, because really there's a lot more work to be done on the eyes. I want to just put some of this in here though. I don't know why, just because. Yeah, I don't want to go crazy. Okay. I am not sure where we are on time. Again, now I'm kind of afraid to just easily check by turning off the camera like I used to be able to do before, because I'm afraid the settings will all reset. So I'm still learning how to use this new program, but I think once I get the hang of it, I think it's going to turn out to be better, because that changing white balance was really annoying me before. And I think that the fur looks pretty nice and fluffy and furry, so I think we're doing good. I think I am going to probably stop very soon. we'll keep working on another video. Actually, I kind of want to work these eyes. Let's just maybe go back to working those eyes a little bit. I'm not sure what colors I want for that. I need them to be dark. Let me just, I think we'll do that. I think we'll finish up around the eye and then see what to do next. This is the Burnt Sienna Pit. I think my white needs to come down further into where this eye is here. I think my black needs to be worked on a little bit. Looks like something here needs to be darker, and I think that it's this area. Maybe I'll pull some of this black out. Would you like me to zoom a little bit? Let's zoom a little bit. Because I'm not getting that look of that the eyes are really deep into the head, which, or, you know, in underneath this bit of fur. So maybe we'll work on that just a little bit. So I'm going to take a stump. I'm just going to pull some of that black. And this really needs to be a lot darker. I'm wondering if I need that bone black from GIOCANDA, because I don't have that other black yet. It's still on back order. But this is really nice and dark. Somewhere is my, there we go. Okay, that is a little bit better. I'm going to take my, not my white, but my saffron. Soften this. I think the white should come down. I'm just measuring. Just bring it down a tiny little bit further. And then this will all turn into a darker color. This is the burnt sienna again in the pit. But really, you know, any sienna-like color that you have will work. Put that in here too. No, not that. Just a little bit. That's better. That's what we want. Okay, so over here we want something a little darker. And we want some black. Careful, that was too much. little red. And a little brown. This is dark sepia in the pit. And more of the, nope, what do we want? Burnt sienna. And let's pull this down a little bit more. Okay. A little bit of this burnt sienna in here. And how are we feeling about all this? I think I'm feeling okay. I just really want to leave. I just want to, the thing is that I just want to keep going and start blending, it down. But we're getting into too much time there, so I will stop here. I think. Whoops, sorry. For now, I think we got quite a bit accomplished. So, yeah, so I will edit this video and say a little prayer that it all comes out okay. And we'll keep going on the next one. So, thanks for hanging out with me. Bearing with all of the craziness this time. And I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Love ya. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.